YouTube. I'll click on Instagram. Okay. So we are live now. So good morning and welcome to the Sunday session of HR Roundtable. I'm GS Kumar, moderator for today, host for today. From the city of Bangalore, I'm a job hunt coach and a LinkedIn trainer. So today's topic is more towards the recent happenings with a lot of tech layoffs and multiple other things are happening. So we thought like we'll pick up a topic which is very relevant to the current job market standards. So the topic wise, is the job market really slow or the candidates, that means the job hunters are using old techniques or old methodologies where they are not getting a right opportunities from this current market. So we are all hearing from multiple spaces, multiple people that there are no jobs, tech layoffs, and Amazon is laying off, Google is laying off, multiple things we are hearing on a day in, day out. But is it really true? Is what we have to look at it. Some statistics we'll just have to look into, wherein we have to go with the real data rather than assumption data. So globally, Indian Labour Organization projects about 53 million new jobs in 2025, lower than 60 million than expected. Okay, which is slowing than 1.5% globally. As far as India is considered, 40% hiring intent that is suggested by Manpower Group in their Q4 research proposal is the second highest worldwide. Talking about unemployment, it is down to 5.4% among 15 plus years. And in terms of tech, US obviously we are not enabling properly, and there are a lot of terrible times with the BPO, IT, those kind of industries. But still, it is projected 13% growth, where skill mismatch is the blocker, not the job volume. So if you look at jobs are still there, hiring is still happening, but the skill mismatch is because of that the laying off is happening. And according to the World Economic Forum report, over 44% of workers' skills will change within 5 years, next 5 years, that means 2030. So these are the real data where people will not be analyzing deep dive into what is happening in the business front, because a lot of businesses are getting into automation and they are implementing AI. So the moment we don't have the AI related skill set, obviously we become obsolete. That's the biggest gap rather than hunting methodologies. So joining us today, very incredible panel members. Happy to welcome all the panel members. I'll introduce one by one. Mr. Deepak Babel, founder, Think Code Naturally, Udaipur, Rajasthan. Welcome to the show. Mrs. Devasmita Basu, recruitment healer coach, Basu Recruitment and Allied Services Private Limited, Raighar, Navi Mumbai. Welcome to the show. Mr. Ajay Kumar, co-founder, plumtrips.com, Bangalore. Welcome to the show. And Mr. J. Kishan Garaj, business growth and development consultant, Indic Inspirations, Pune. Thank you for spending your time on a Sunday to give the valuable knowledge to our audience, and hope to have a wonderful, insightful conversation because you're coming from a wide variety of experience, and that will definitely add value to this entire panel discussion. So I'll start with your first impression. When we say, like a lot of people you could have also heard, like, is the job market really slow? Is it, how is the job market working? All that of a discussion or gossip might be going in your office or with colleagues and relatives. So you can just tell about your dimension or opinion about this particular topic, starting from Deepak.
Thank you, Kumar, and hello to everyone. So, this particular topic is really, near to my heart because I have been, working in the tech industry from last 16 years. I have myself worked in various companies, but here the main thing is, of course, the tech market is brutal right now. There is no denying. So there is no sugar coating on that. But the thing is, the way of job hunting has changed. So in 2008, there were two distinct things. First thing was, it was a pre-COVID era. Second, Gen AI tools were not there. In 2025, we talk about both the things are there. That we also have the option to do gig jobs, remote work. COVID happened, so remote work boomed. All those things plus Gen AI tools boomed. With Gen AI tools now, even the employees as well as employers both are trying their hands on to become the best to get selected by the company and all those things. But it is an AI double whamming which is playing its part, and the trick is how you beautifully navigate it to make your way through it. So yeah, those are my opening remarks, I think. For this.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So maybe there will be a lot of insights during our conversation. Moving on to Mr. J. Kishan, what is your first opinion about this particular topic?
Yeah, thanks, Kumar, for having me. Welcome to all the fellow panel members and all the audiences. As right, Kumar, you rightly mentioned, maybe I will just use one word, that it is evolving, right? And sooner we all try to understand it first, acknowledge it second, and then start working towards how we can change our ways of getting a job that is going to be something which is going to help us going forward. As right, even Deepak rightly mentioned that before, no, people were thinking, I mean, it was just a vertical way of thinking. Do your graduation, get a job, you either work for 2 to 5 years and keep moving from one job to other. However, as COVID rightly helped us, that we can think in a horizontal way as well, wherein getting a job working for that one company for 2 years, yeah, it absolutely is good. But then we need to have different ways of working also. He rightly mentioned about the gig economy. Earlier, it was just on the people on the floor, or let's say at the corner of any market, but now it is all over. So we need to first understand that it is really evolving, and what we can do so that we can get maximum out of it. Otherwise, it's not slowing down, it is going to increase. There will be a slight drop, but it is going to help everyone in the long run for sure. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, okay. Looking forward for a detailed conversation. Moving on to Mr. Ajay Kumar, co-founder Plum Trips. I think you are into past. Your past is into HR, so you might have more input because day in day out, a lot of people running behind you and then asking you how is the real market. So your first impression.
Sure, definitely. So thanks, yes, and thanks the panelists. So I'll say here my straight answer. Both are true. The market is slow and candidates are using outdated tactics. And as someone I can say currently, like as someone currently I'm hiring for Plum Trips and building previously which I have building team at Unicards. I can tell you the market hasn't frozen. It's
Okay,
become selective. We are hiring one exceptional person instead of three average ones, and every hire needs to show ROI within 6 months, which is the market trends which I am finding nowadays. And
okay,
apart from, if I want to say, the uncomfortable truth for candidates, 70% of jobs are filled through networking only.
hmm,
Most of the people are still mass playing on LinkedIn. I can
right,
spot generic AI generated applications which we can find easily in 5 seconds. Everyone says they want to leverage synergies and drive impact. What
hmm,
actually
hmm, hmm.
worked in 2025? First is network strategically. Usually, right now, if I'm going to say at Practice 3 out of 5 hire, I have which I am doing it right now came from connections, not from any job board.
Okay, hmm,
Second, my point is there, don't tell, just you show. The best candidate
hmm,
which I hired at Unicard sent me a computer analysis deck, not just like their resume.
right,
Third, I can say nowadays, which we have to be completely ruthless.
hmm, hmm,
We should
hmm.
not write only cover letter for 10 companies, which is the same. Rather than we should be generic for those particular companies, why they want to hire, what we are looking, and matching of that. So the market
Hmm.
hasn't abandoned us; it's evolved, which
Okay,
uh, which I can say. Jai Kishan has also said that. The market hasn't abandoned, it has been evolved. Companies are hiring differently because the business environment demands. The candidate who
Hmm.
their strategies won't just survive, they will thrive. So nowadays, every number is data. Track it,
Hmm.
learn from it, adjust. The opportunities are there. You just need the right strategy to unlock them.
Wonderful. I think since coming from a talent acquisition background, you might have that experience. And personally, also, when you're hiring, you're utilizing the non-traditional method. Like people usually do a job posting and wait for things to happen, but you have approached the non-traditional method, which I think you'll have to be educating those aspects to the job market, right?
Definitely.
So, Debasmita, your first impression about this particular topic, you are running a recruitment firm and dealing with a lot of related stuff of people. What is your first point of view?
I also say that the market has not yet freezed. The communication, what we are working on, has to be strategically discussed. For example, when we say the words, okay, in neurolinguistic programming, and if you say natural language, okay, the computer has language which they understand. Similarly, our brain understands different type of languages, which subconscious mind we have already adopted. So when we
Hmm.
are going for the job hunt, if we use certain languages, the you will get an opportunity for sure because or people are getting the job. The job market has not yet freezed, and I'm thank
Correct.
you to giving me an opportunity to speak about this and to all the panelists because I'm getting a lot of inputs from here. This
Hmm.
the thing is, if we think that it is frozen, it's frozen. If we think we are getting an opportunity, definitely the opportunities are there for you. There's companies are waiting for you. Today, I have an opportunity for Java developers intern. Okay, they are just looking for an internship. Those who are actually those who are coming for this, because it's they are later they are getting the opportunity for the manager position, senior management positions, because this is their strategy how they will interact and how will they crack the interview.
True, true. Maybe looking forward for a dive deep discussion.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start with Mr. J. Kishan one more time. I would like to ask you, like, depending on your experience, what are all the old way of doing things of job job hunting, and what do you see as a new tactics of applying to jobs? If you can throw some light on those elements, what do you see from the job seekers and how the methodology of job hunting? Can you throw some light on that?
Sure, sure, Kumar. Yeah, so probably I will get started. Um, as Ajay rightly mentioned, right, that 70% of the hiring happens via networking. Okay. Now, this is something which was not there 10, 15 years back. Now, let me try to address three different aspects. One is whether your interview is getting scheduled, which means you are applying and applying and applying. So that is one thing. Second thing is, let's say your interviews are getting scheduled, but you are not able to crack those interviews,
Correct.
right? So that is the second layer. And the third layer is, now this was not the case, I would say 10, 15 years back, but it is happening right so often nowadays, which is once a candidate has joined a company, he is into a probation period of anywhere between 3 months to 6 months. Now, whether he is able to survive those 3 or 6 months and become an actual full time employee.
Correct.
Okay. Now, the thing is, if I can take a question which is rightly put up, right, that what should be the ideal time for generating an ROI? So now
Hmm.
the traditional way, right? We most of us come from that era of late 90s or early 2000, which was a time when all the services companies were hiring and they were getting a bond of an year, sometimes one and a
Hmm.
half years signed. Okay, which means that they were looking for an ROI that they will train you for anywhere between 2 months to 4 months, and they will expect you to be with the company for anywhere between 1.5 to 2 years. So that is what they were looking at. As and when, as no, even Deepak rightly mentioned that we are getting exposure to a lot of different tools, and not just tools about how to get the right profiles, but how we can make people more productive. So nowadays, the once let's say a candidate has joined a company, they are expecting an absolutely steep learning curve for them and how we can maximize the ROI, right?
Hmm.
Which means that efficiency, skilling has become important, right?
Hmm.
And right, I keep telling whenever I have discussions with the college graduates also, that I discovered this word unlearn and relearn after I crossed no 10, 15 years of my experience. Earlier it was only reskilling or ups, I mean it was only upskilling, but now we need to see that okay, what is right, what is the need? Like let's say any startup founder, he has to find out what the customer needs. We also need to find out okay, what the market needs, what are the skills which are there in the market which has no good uh, job openings. We need to find out that, we need to then see whether that is really something for me, and if it is something for me, I need to be the best one no somebody can find out for that particular skill, right? It could be Python programming, it could be an AWS administrator, it could be a ServiceNow administrator, whatever it be, but no, I need to absolutely no upskill myself, or I need to be one of the best who is there available in the market. So we don't, I mean there is no shortcuts at all. Now earlier the companies were trying for some 50% match or 60% match. No, that percentage has gone up a lot, and companies are really reluctant now to help the candidate to have a very linear learning curve. It has to be exponential, and in some cases, it is very steep. So, right, while we were discussing in the earlier introduction part as well, no one size fits all. If we are applying for a certain company, we need to tailor our resume for that company's requirement. But before that, we really need to know introspect that this job is really for me or no, right? So
Hmm.
in my discussions with candidates, I go to colleges to take sessions also. I always tell them that if it is not something that really resonates with your conviction, you are not going to give how much ever you try, it won't be your 100% for sure. So first
Hmm.
we need to identify what are the jobs which are really right for me. Now there might be certain jobs which excites me, but then I need to ask myself, we need to be efficient, we need to be truthful, we need to be authentic. If it is absolutely for me, right, then I need to see that am I the best person which has all the skills which is mentioned. Now as I mentioned earlier, 50-60% match, the companies were fine because it was granted that there will be a linear right learning curve. But nowadays, as we absolutely discussed, the market has become so brutal. People expect you to know at least be productive within, I would say, right, 2 to 4 weeks time. I will go even one step further. A couple of companies no where I am consulting at the moment. So earlier there was no concept of 30, 60, 90-day plan from your recruiting manager, your hiring manager. Okay, okay, you get, and then you get some generic training, and then you will assign to some work. Then came a stage where the hiring manager will have a 30, 60, 90-day plan for the candidate once the candidate is onboarded. I was shocked, I mean pleasantly shocked, that since past 2 to 3 years, it is reverse. When somebody
Hmm.
applies for a job, the hiring manager or the recruiting manager will tell the candidate, this is what the problem I really want someone for this role to be solving. You tell me your plan. 30
Hmm.
days,
Hmm.
60 days, 90 days, your plan. How are you going to help me solve this particular problem?
See,
So
it is
right,
more than the job seeker. It is like a business proposal between two guys where how can you fix my problem? And the resume has to be like a business proposal where it should come with a lot of value addition thing wherein they can combine and work together and solve one particular issue. Is that is a way of new
absolutely,
methodology?
absolutely, Kumar, you summarized this nicely. And to put it in a single sentence, I would say that business is looking every candidate, potential hire, every candidate and a potential hire as an intrapreneur,
Hmm.
right? Whether hiring this person will be an asset or a liability, and they go even one step further beyond asset or liability, that whether this person can think like an intrapreneur and help
Right.
me solve this problem.
That's what we should have a shift in mindset that instead of working for a company, I should behave like an entrepreneur.
Absolutely,
So that in
absolutely.
any which way I can solve the problem and remain continuous in the organization rather than leaving the job and then going, because that is even more terrible. Like whatever in the last couple of consulting, what we are discussing is like in next 5 years, everybody will become solopreneurs. We'll be trying to sell something one to the other. If
Absolutely,
this is the case of
absolutely.
job market tech layoff is going, everybody will create an AI product and we'll exchange. Oh, okay, this is my product, this is your product, kind of. So I think that is I mean, hope it will not happen, but we'll try to see what best upskilling we'll have to take. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Any final point you have on this before moving you to the next?
As you rightly mentioned, solopreneurs or micro enterprises are going to thrive, and I will not be surprised to see a company with no double digit or even single digit employees with a valuation of $1 billion, because it is all
Hmm.
about how much value you can add. And I would say the management themselves will not have a problem giving you your share. I mean, the crazy news what we see, Mark Zuckerberg hiring a 22-year-old, which has a package of $1 billion over a period of 4 or 5 years. I mean, that guy will have absolutely no problem in taking that job, right? I mean, so that is what it is. There is, as you rightly mentioned, it's a mind shift. Sooner we accept that, the better it is for all of us.
I think mindset is a game we'll have to. I mean, everybody has to work towards that. Not yesterday years where we complete some MBA and join a company till 58 years. So that's not going to be the case. So every single year we need to upskill, invest on our upskilling to move forward. With the career pivoting option, like whatever we have, the traditional roles may not be there. Some new job roles will be upcoming, and we should have the mindset to pivot the career rather than sticking on to the same. I
Absolutely.
think that's where a lot of mid-career and CXOs facing problem, that they are immediately not willing to do a career pivot in their own thing. That's the biggest. Thank you so much for a valuable point. Moving on to Mr. Deepak, I just want to discuss with you on a different topic. Like, what are the sector-wise trends? Like, you've been worked with multiple different companies. So, what do you see in various sectors? Like, which companies hiring fast, which companies hiring low, or which companies or industries have a complete dip on their hiring? Did you had that analysis? Because in your LinkedIn profile, if I saw, like you have worked with various companies as well, and right now you're working with different clients. So, can you throw some lights on what is the driving shift towards skills or budget or automation? Sector wise idea you can share.
Yeah, so primarily, thanks Kumar for the opportunity. So primarily, if you look at the different, BFSI sectors in the tech industry, so right now, if you see the momentum, how it is shifting is every industry or every sector, what they are trying to do is they are trying to build in efficiency and optimization in their existing, uh, what do you say, working. That means what is happening is you would have seen so many restructurings, so many reorganizations, and so many things. So, like the big giants, what they want to do is they want to get mean and lean. Okay, the small solopreneurs, or I will not just say solopreneurs, but like these micro enterprise companies or micro startup companies, SMEs, they are compounding at the rate of 45%, to some are compounding at 80%. So every big giant in each sector is scared of these small companies. Okay, because
Oh.
they know that right now, if the candidates, if the core founding team is strong with a very good mindset, if they, so basically, if you look, a company is made out of, the biggest asset is human resources. So if the company has good potential employees who know their strengths, play to their strengths, and
Mm.
master those even better using AI tools, then that company will become unicorn faster than any biggies like Oracle or something like that. So right now, actually, what is happening is there is not just one sector which is booming or going down or up. What is happening is linearly across different sectors or all sectors, what is happening is restructuring is happening. Giants are, they are trying to protect margin, they are trying to become more leaner, they are trying to get a person do the work of three, which Jay Krishna solely told out. So also, this also tells us that there is an opportunity to become solopreneur yourself. So see, if the company is expecting so much out of you, like earlier there was a different guy for this role, different guy for that role, but now they are saying that can you wear multiple hats? Okay,
Mm.
so either you become a very very pro at only one thing, or what you do is you don multiple hats with the use of AI smartly, and you
Mm.
navigate all those tasks. Then in just like 1 or 2 years you can start your own firm. Means it is,
Mm.
so it is said that the biggest setbacks or the biggest turnaround times are the biggest opportunable times. So if your mindset is that of gratitude, if your mindset is very strong, then what you can do is you can make the best out of, because right now in this Gen AI era, it is like one of the inventions post electricity, this generative AI. And if you can master that and build your own journey, then nothing like it. You can of course contribute to the current company. But see, a Marwadi, I am a Marwadi, and Marwadi's concept is simple. You work in a shop under the guidance of someone, you learn all those things, and then you open your own shop next to him and kill his business. I'm not saying killing his business, at least take his share. So
Mm.
right now everyone wants to have that mindset, be in gratitude, be gratitude for whatever work you are seeking, whatever you are getting, become very active in it, learn each and everything, sub samjo and all those things, and then open your own dukan. Okay, the future is your own dukan, apni dukan, Amazon or whatever your concept.
So in a way, it is like an internship to become a solopreneur or
Yes.
a entrepreneur. That is how we have to treat a job rather
Yeah.
than thinking about a career about 15 years. The 15 years career, I don't think it will be no longer a reality. And it
Yeah.
will be more like, okay, 6 months I'll work in a job, then I'll learn, I'll start my own kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's the way.
because see, if you look at my own journey, I have worked in 12 plus companies in last 16 years. I have worked
Wow.
in 8 plus domains. I have worked in startups. I have worked in enterprise companies like Samsung and all. I have worked in AI driven companies who work on conversational intelligence. And I have seen it all, in the sense, yeah, of course I'm learning, but I've seen it all. And what I feel is this diverse experience of different domains, different tech stacks, different companies, and different work cultures, like service based mindset is different, product based mindset is different, startup mindset is different, enterprise mindset is different. So as a job seeker, what you have to do is you have to uh, of course, first thing is identify your strength, and according to your strength, what you do is you hone that strength, invest in yourself, upskill on that particular strength, and then find the right job or the right companies who are giving you opportunities in that. And that can only happen if you have gratitude. If you have gratitude, what will happen is the job opportunities will come magically to your doorstep, because I am following it, and I can vouch for Debasmita. She's also on the same thing, that mindset and gratitude, these are going to be the level playing fields. Because right now, if you see, in one job applications there are 1,000 plus applicants, right? So even the recruiters or the employers are like, in double whammy, what to do, what to do. Now, if the employee or if the job seeker who is applying, what he does is, if say suppose he is of gratitude mindset, he is of strong mindset, then what happens is he will attract such kind of opportunity. So one thing which he could do, okay, so this is about the mindset. Another thing which he could do is he could create his own personal branding. So how does we do personal branding? So say suppose you are upskilling on a particular strength, then you post that journey, you post the ups and downs, your learnings and all. So it's not like suddenly somebody is waking up and realizing this. So because nowadays employers are also doing background check. Okay, they will go to your social media, they will hire private investigative agencies to do all those things before they invest in somebody. So right now the thing is, you have to network very well, you have to create your own personal branding, because as both Ajay also said rightly, that in my case it and many others I know, that we get placed through referrals. We actually don't have to even go to job boards. And I know that if I am mentoring somebody like interns and all, then if I just say a word to a company's founder that I think this guy is good, then he will not even take his interview, he'll just take it. So that means in order for all these things to happen at your own part, you have to find your strength, you have to play to that, you have to network well, you have to create your personal branding, and then do mentoring and internship under some able people. Because if you see, one example, there is a platform by Raj Vikramaditya, if you guys are aware about. So that is for upskilling on data structures and algorithm, which is like a core skill of DSA. If you join such kind of communities or such kind of platforms, then what happens is you get exposure to community. There are many people who are already working in tech in different companies who are enrolling in those courses. So you get access to those communities. Once you get access to those communities, you get access to referrals. So this is one
Right.
of the simple trick, but it doesn't click to many people. So similarly, there are so many good things. Only thing is you have to keep your mindset open. The opportunities are there. Even whatever be the job market, however brutal it can be, you can always crack an opportunity if you have the right mindset, gratitude mindset. Yeah.
I think bang on a point. Like say somebody when they are upskilling, they look at the certification what they can add in the resume. I think you have brought a very new point. Like it can also act as a. I mean, you can join as a community, and you can network with a lot of like-minded people who understands your background. Like let's say a PMI course or a Scrum Master course. You interact with 100 different people at the same level of people where people when they go to a job there are possibility of reference. So I think that is like a very blind spotted information which is there, and people running behind only getting IT certification, technological upskilling, and forgetting about the network opportunity which is hidden behind the certification course. Maybe that element they might have to inquire during onboarding any IT certification in their role. So very good point. So moving on to Mr. Ajay Kumar right now. So you're coming from an HR background and dealing with multiple job seekers. So I would like to discuss with you on what kind of mindset and skill set is was in the past and what is the new things which is required for the future near about till 2030. What is the mindset? I mean, you can talk about the mindset and skill set in the past, whatever you have seen, and talk about the future requirement that way. Yeah.
So thanks, yes. So basically, if I'm going to talk about the mindset as well as skill set, it has, I can say, drastically changed post COVID. And or if I'm going to talk about like the basically which pre-COVID was working and what is not working now. So the
Correct.
first mistake which like earlier like even we have done or people are doing, like whichever job applications we were finding, we were just applying it. We have never tailored our CV, nothing. I can say like basically for one applications which like now Deepak has also said we are receiving thousand like for one applications we are receiving 1,000 CVs. So that's the biggest mistake which I can say, like spray and pray applications. Like whichever
Mm,
requirement is there, just we are dumping CVs. We are not working on that. Second thing was there, like earlier we were only relying on the job boards.
correct.
So the mindset itself was there, like okay, Naukri is there, LinkedIn is there. So there we are going to apply the jobs. Somewhere recruiter is going to call us and we will get placed. Almost
Hmm.
70% of jobs also was filling on those particular time through job boards itself, and 21% was the referral thing.
Hmm.
Now, third mistake which I can say, like earlier AI was not there at all, so people are not using AI or anything. Now people are smarter. What they will do, they are started to using AI. In fact, I can say still AI is the buzzword itself, but they are doing on the wrong aspects. Wrong aspects in the sense I
Hmm.
say they will just upload their CV and they will say based on the JD, please tailor my CV.
Hmm.
But the question is same whether you have that skills or not, whether that job role is fit for you or not. All those are such a questions they are not utilizing it. That's the reason within 5 seconds we are also able to get it whether this is AI tailored CV or whether it has been made by
Right.
that.
That's what AI, if you give a prompt, it will give any kind of content. Okay, these are the 10 core competencies, these are all the multiple skills. But
Exactly.
really, do you have that experience or not? That's the question. Yeah.
That's the question.
Hmm.
Fourth important point is there they will I can say like they're like basically in AI itself they will tailor they need to tailor everything based on their need which they are not doing it.
Hmm.
And now the last important point which I want to mention, which earlier we were finding like especially on the negotiation side I can say like
Hmm.
when we were applying the job we were there like ambition was last door and all those sites were not there, so
Hmm.
negotiations was on those aspects like when we
Hmm.
have applied if we were not about the budget also, so the budget here and there it was slightly stretching or slightly coming down. Now
Hmm.
people are smarter, so before applying, those who is like smart people, I can say they can easily like go to Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and before applying itself, they can get to know whether that particular company is going to pay us that much or not. Because if they are going, if I'm like basically if I'm going to talk about the Plum Trips is basically now bootstrap or I can say seed stage. I cannot compare the paymaster of the Series C funded or Gale funded MNCs.
Correct.
Definitely, I cannot match that,
Hmm.
but people will apply from those company and they are looking such type of negotiation itself, so that is not going to work
Hmm.
out. So that is the
Hmm.
which I can say exact mindset which need to be changed. Now
True.
skill set, if
100%.
I want to talk about again the skills, like nowadays the buzzword I have said you, like basically every CV I am finding whether they are particularly knowing about Gen AI or not, but they will use the buzzword Gen AI or adaptive AI, they will completely utilize it. Similar way I can say like when we are creating the job descriptions and we are talking to the founders, like earlier in Unicards, if I'm going to talk to the founder will say use the word AI. If I need to hire some front end engineer, I'll use that AI front end engineer, those who is using AI. Now, how much AI he is using or not using, it is the question mark.
Correct.
But,
Correct.
but we will also tailor our job description also on the same way. Now,
Hmm.
candidates are applying also on the similar way. They will also use
Hmm.
the same words because ChatGPT is giving the same prompt, same answers,
Hmm.
and they're not able to crack the interviews. Instead of that, which like Deepak has said, if they are learning GenAI, they are taking their GenAI certifications, go and join those communities. Many is communities you find in GitHub or similar many platform. You go and join those communities. You start discussing on that, so people will get to know. With yeah, this person is completely in the GenAI side or any other AI like front end. He is doing it, and that is the easy way to crack it. So those type of skill set needs to be developed by I
Hmm.
can say employee. Third important point which I can say on the skill set and mindset, basically that is on the Gen Z, which we are using the word like Gen Z. I can say one aspect is correct also, one aspect is wrong also. Like our era was there when we were working for any job, so we thought to stay for 10 years, 6 years, 5 years. Now that mindset has completely changed. I can
Correct.
say that so based on the market conditions or based on the society or based on the digital era which we has evolved. So they are not bothered about the job because I was hiding for plum trips one, like I was interviewing one Gen Z which has come from the networking itself. But the question
Hmm.
when I asked like whether let's suppose that since we are a startup and sometimes I can ask you to work on Saturday or Sundays also whether you will be able to work or not. His
Hmm.
straight away answer was there. I have never gone to college also on Sunday. How can I work?
Okay.
Now, being a founder, that thing is came in my mind whether he
Hmm.
will be the right hire for me or wrong hire. But
Hmm.
other aspects when I thought, He's absolutely right. Why will he give time for me on Saturday and Sunday? We can say
Correct.
pull our socks, but we need to think on their views also, because they came from those generations. So
Hmm.
those type of mindset is there, where earlier, like, we were not talking to the father also, we were saying like upfront. Now they will say, "Yeah, father also, hey dad, how cold, what's you are doing?" So those shift has changed. We cannot think on the same way. If people were discussing on the same thing like privately, now they're discussing on the publicly. So
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
type of
Hmm.
mindset has changed, and that is going to impact for, I can say, entire HR or entire hiring or everywhere. So
Hmm.
we also need to change accordingly.
Okay, mindset is not only for the, I mean, mindset and skill set is not only for the job seekers, from the employer side as well, founders
Side
side
also.
as well. I think that's a different dimension. I think employers should think of, because more, I see a lot of people after 15 years, they may not have a career. So obviously they have to enter into a solopreneur or entrepreneur journey where they themselves has to change their mindset and skill set depending on the kind of product and services they are offering. So it is no longer, okay, I'm a founder, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm giving you a job, right? So rather,
Mindset has changed completely now. Now there is both side, mutual side. We
yeah.
cannot be like, okay, you, because which Deepak has also said, or Jay Kishan has also said, okay, people mindset has changed. People mindset, which Deepak has explained well, like Marwari, like we
Right.
will learn, and that's true. We will learn from you. Besides, only I will start my own company and I'm going to kill you. So that's the mindset is in the market.
Right,
So
right, right. Very well said. Very well said. Yeah, yeah.
accordingly.
So I'll circle back to you for the other topic. So let's move on to Devasmita. So you are into manpower recruitment and multiple other things. You will be the best person to contribute a large amount of information out here. So what is your viewpoint in terms of um, mid-career and CXO leadership kind of a jobs? Because entry level, obviously, they are while they are studying itself, they are getting into AI and other things. But think about people who are at a non-IT and their companies are automating something, and immediately they were not able to adopt. So, do you see a major setback from the mid-career and CXO where they were not able to adopt your point of views?
Yeah, it's absolutely a very powerful thing, which I was just listening to Ajay and everyone, panelists, Jai Krishna and Deepak, what exactly comes. It's very true that we are using Google, they are using AI as a Google. Okay, whereas they're copy pasting it, they are not able to understand what is AI. I have met with the different directors of the CXO, CHRO of the organization. They are like, okay, this AI will take back my job. I do not want to accept it. Do you want me to become an automated? Do you want me to become a machine? I am human being. This is their point of view. So when we say no, you are human, you have your intelligence, and that also, if you see how much of neurons are working for that intelligence, artificial intelligence. So this is they the modern concept is some people have taken this, yes, they are accepting, some CXOs are open to accept AI as a tool, as a supporting, because they know my business will grow. Because if I learn the techniques, as Deepak has clearly mentioned, that you learn and then kill. That is the way he has explained. It was very sweetly he has explained it. Learn the techniques and then do it. Because I too learned from various industries. I worked in automobile industries and infrastructure, even food industries, manufacturing unit. So I learned and then I started implement in my business. So if you learn, because learning is not happening in like 5 or 6 years, people in this mindset is coming. Because when I was listening to Jay Krishna, everybody that they shift your mindset to become an entrepreneur. I would suggest that 5 years, 6 years, if you are becoming a CXO in 5 years or 6 years, it's not your learning, it's not stopping. As mentioned, that learn to unlearn. Because whatever you are learning, if you are coming with that mindset and opening your business, you won't success until and unless you are going deeper, until unless you are understanding in deeper what the demands, the com- even if you are studying your own project or even if you are in the leaders as a leader, accept. teach the juniors that to accept AI, accept the new vision. If you want to be into the game, because people are like, my intelligence is ultimate, because they don't know any, their unconscious mind, everything is there. They learn because brain is a sponge. It will take whatever you are learning, and everything is not to use. Unlearn that and utilize this, because leaders are the persons who are creating more leaders. So this is what is coming to me. And as I have mentioned that earlier, that the senior management, the mid management and the senior management, they are not also reading the JD. Okay, they are applying for the job directly, because I got to, if you see, 250 resumes have come. It has, though it has mentioned the JD, they are not going inside the JD. They are just okay overview on the top, and this is immediately applying. It is this becoming a dump for us. We are not checking those resumes because we provided the JD. They don't have the time. So until the thing is, no, the surface level learning is not, if it is enough. Go within, because we also learn from inside, right? All the panelists here, even you, even the person who are listening, has to learn from the depth to get to know the job. There's the ultimate is this, that is when you're, there are two things which comes in my mind, which is what do I want when I am going for an interview, what do you really want, and to see the next person what that person really wants. If that matches, this alignment matches, then only you will get an opportunity. And otherwise, being into the senior management, being into the mid management, has to understand that this, you have an experience as a leader, and when you are hiring, you also see what you are doing, because you are also training those junior people. So give, and openly that, give them the opportunity to showcase themselves as well, because sometimes it's like, okay, you don't know, because we say there is a very, means the English is very powerful, the words are very powerful, not only the English, the words are very powerful. So when we see,
Devasmita, I have one question here.
yeah,
Since you're dealing with a lot of employers, do you think there are the expectation are way too high from an employer side to the candidates? Like, okay, I want this also, I want AI also, I want IT technology also, I want certification also. At the same time, I need this much experience. Do you think it's over expectation from the employer?
I will support employer point of view, because they also have certain, if we are not putting that grade, so
Hmm.
the person who is joining that person will stick for 3 or 4 months, right? If the grade is high, then they are telling the truth that I want this, okay, and if they have been getting this, it's not, if the person is asking, yes, I want, uh, in this case your question is very valid. If it is not too high expectations, because when we are also running the business, we also see certain things after 2020, you know, that so much of uh, this happens, right? Many lockdown, during this lockdown, many of the businesses has closed down, right? And we, the huge number of resumes come to that time. There's even the company owner has shared their resumes that I want to change my opportunity, give me something. It was so painful
Yeah.
that time to handle them, even giving them the support as being a psychiatrist, psychologist that time. It was very difficult. But the point of view, when they are just, we need to give them, we are not giving them the false promises that time. We told that the market will again rise. Just wait for
Hmm.
the right time, because India is not that much, that opportunities will come, and opportunities are coming. So the, if now if they're demanding a little higher, because they are, since the recession is still going on, and as if we see the money wise, okay, the whatever they are giving, if they raise the, if they are expecting a person to give this, at least they can offer 1 lakh, or within that salary, means per month salary, like this, if they are expecting a person, if they're restricting themselves like 75,000 is your monthly salary, it is demotivating for them as well, because they can increase that perspective. Yes.
Yeah, tell me something like when you are working with employers who are hiring candidates from you. So when
Hmm.
they are not shortlisting something, like is there any element of okay, these are all things which we expected, which is not there. Can you provide those kind of candidate? Is there an element of gap in the expectation versus the reality?
Yes, their mind shifts because when they are checking this, when they are finding out that the person has no AI understanding because they are not accepting it properly, they are going certain things, they are putting their point of view onto this, which the company owner is not liking it. That is a skill gap. Second gap, which I personally found in this, that is their communication. Okay, because previously, and they don't know how to do the negotiation activities. So when they are reaching out, I want to tell that one of the CA who has been there and applied for CXO position, she was like little reluctant. She was fearful because she got an opportunity after 2021. She was once because there was a recession and her mindset was completely down that time. And when she reached out to the company, she has been asked several questions which she has not updated herself completely with the current market demands. So she got rejected, and I got the email stating the same thing, that the factors definitely we will be giving them the opportunity, but the fact is she is not, at this point we cannot hire her because
Hmm.
I specifically that the as Mr. Ajay has mentioned clearly about the networking, and that is also the company I got through networking. When I spoke about that to that lady, please give her an opportunity because this was her mindset, but during the interview she failed. Means we do not use the word fail; we say it's a feedback. Failure is always a feedback. This is what this is my feedback and this is for her the feedback, and I know I have to work more and more on her.
Sure, sure, sure. I'll circle back to you with another dimension of thought process. Let me
Yeah.
go back to Deepak again. This will be like little lighter vein. Like, what exactly is the blunders you have done during your job hunt in the last decade? Like, you've been into various jobs and you have cracked also. It is not like you've just applied to interviews and then coming back. You have cracked with various companies and joined the organization. But tell me something to our audience, like any any blunders you have did and how we can avoid that so that it can be a greater learning for our audience.
Yeah, there are many blunders, but I will probably share a few. So, first thing is perfection is the enemy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happens is most of the times, when, say, suppose I used to get inbox emails from Microsoft or Google for interview, I used to over prepare. I used to tell
Okay.
them that I will we let's schedule it after 1 month, after 2 months or so. And when you do that, what happens is you go into the loop of procrastination. Okay,
Right.
I need to be perfect, I need to do this, and actually you don't do. The thing is, it
Mm-hmm.
just goes into that particular loop. So the first tip is, what you do is, you, as soon as you realize that this is now the time to change, go and get yourself shunted out, or I I can bluntly use that, go and get yourself fucked in an interview. Just go
Mm.
there, he will humiliate you, he will embarrass you with the questions, and then
Take
what
it
will
as an
happen is,
experience rather than
yeah,
no insult. Mm.
because there are two motivations why people work primarily. One is, if people are in love, or when people have this hate attitude or revenge attitude. Revenge is also one of the pure emotions. So when somebody embarrasses you, for many people, it is the trigger that, yeah, am I not good enough, I have to do something about myself, how could I do this to me? So you come out of that procrastination loop, you start doing all the things, you prepare well, and then you do. And what happens is, for me, it was simple formula, has always been. So whenever I'm looking out, what I do is, I will give first 5 interviews without preparation, and I will
Mm.
get embarrassed. But what will happen is, after 5 interviews, I will know almost like 50-60% of the format, which questions or topics they are focusing for that particular skill set which I'm interviewing. Then in the sixth interview onwards, what will happen is, my accuracy rate will be 80% or more, because I will know almost 60% of the questions which are going to be asked for that particular role. So my see, I have given 300 plus interviews, cracked 300 plus interviews in my life
Wow.
easily. Means 300, I am saying that I have cleared final round. I'm not even talking
Mm,
about one round or so. And I have worked myself in 12 plus companies. I used to have like easily 10, 12 offers at any given point in time when I used to
um,
do. And my strategy was simple: you just go out there, get yourself embarrassed, you will feel bad, but
mm.
keep doing it
Take
till you get.
action, go for an interview rather than
Yeah,
keep on thinking, assuming something. I
yeah.
think in your portfolio you can add interview experience this much. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
because another thing. So this is one of the blunders which people do. Another blunder, personal blunder, which I
Mm,
did was I was working as a freelancer for Saudi Aramco in Saudi Arabia. So there, one of the blunders which I did was they told me that you can come on again on work visa. There is a kind of special visa, and in the next time we will give you Ikama visa, which gives you flexibility to get your family also. So earlier I went alone. So what I said was that time the money which you get, okay, so this is a very very good tip if anybody is listening. If you are working in Gulf countries, those are the places where you can make real money. Like you work in India for 5 years and you work in Gulf for 1 year, you will have same amount of savings. Okay.
um,
So if you haven't explored that particular path, explore it today. So what mistake I did was I went on the work visa, I worked there for 6 months, and client was interviewing from last 2 years, but he could not get the perfect guy, and he was very satisfied with my performance after 6 months. So what he said is, I want to offer you again a work visa because there was some delay in your Ikama processing the last time around. So let's let you. Can you come again on work visa alone, and then after 6 months we'll give for family? And that time I said no. So that time, that particular no actually costed me savings of like 4 5 years, which I could have made.
okay.
So sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to understand the gravity of the situation. Sometimes understand what you are. Always have this thing, cost benefit analysis. So if I'm going
Mm,
to say yes to this, what is benefit I'm getting and what it is costing? If I'm saying no to something, what is the cost and what is the benefit associated with it? Always do this
wonderful.
analysis for each and every decision. You will do wonders. These are two of the blunders which I can come with top of the mind.
No, no, instead of Brenda, I would say a takeaway. It's a huge
Take away.
takeaway from your personal experience, which many of us will make a mistake on this kind of an area. And
Yeah.
one great point is take actions. Like we cannot be prepared 100%, 200% all the time. So go and attend, see, get humiliated, understand what realization happens during the conversation, and don't repeat the mistake in the next interview. As simple as that.
And
So
one more I'll add. Okay, so though I call it as a blunder or something, but I don't regret it now. The reason being,
mm,
see, simple thing is, whatever decisions we make, okay, good, bad, right, wrong, what happens is all is in the divine plan. The problem with most of the people is they do into this guilt trip that I made the
mm,
bad decision. So early on in my career, I got an opportunity to work in Japan, and
mm,
those guys were so adamant to have me because my skill set. I used to work very good. So they were like rejected everyone and they told me we will pay you as much as you want, you just come. And then I was
mm,
thinking that time that Japan I have to work 14 hours or 12 hours a week, and India I just have to work 8 9 hours. So in that mindset I said no to that particular
okay.
job. And later on I felt or self sabotaged myself after a few years that yeah, Japan, I see many colleagues now who are working there and they have made lot of money and all. But then the moment I understood that this particular self sabotaging or guilt trip which we do, negative self talk
Mm,
that we do to others, actually uh, removes us or removes those magic which are going to happen. So once you
mm.
get over it and focus on the positive things which you could do, so then I started focusing on the positives, and miracles you are happening, have been happening. So
Amazing.
12 plus companies I have worked, 8 plus domains I have worked in all kind of things. I have I have enjoyed perks of all. Samsung, when I used to work, I used to get employee discount coupons on all the products, Samsung things and all. So if I would have
Mm.
stuck to one company or one particular that particular thing, or self sabotage myself over all those things, I would not have made all this magic happen. So whatever
True.
happens or whatever happened in the past, let it go. Never be in guilt trip. Whatever decision you made, then stick with it. No regret, no complaints. Just move forward.
Absolutely bang on. I think that's a great input for the upcoming, like especially mid career. They have these assumptions and procrastination towards anything. I think this point is a great point where they can adopt in their lifestyle. Yeah, moving on to Jay Kishan, what super blunders you have done, and what is your best advice to the job seekers?
Okay, so before now I talk about for job seekers, right? Devasmita brought up a very brought up few good points from the perspective of employers. So right, let me share a blunder when no I was on the other side and I was helping team grow and taking good number of interviews. And no, so I mean, it has to be from both perspectives, job seekers also as well as the employers also. So I was helping the team build right in one of my earlier companies, and at that time, no, I was not having good amount of experience. I would say that being a telecommunication, data communication expert for 19 plus years, it was early in my career with hardly 4.5 years of experience, wherein I used to reject each and every candidate.
Hmm.
Okay, and I mean, and it was so bad, and I was not even realizing it. And
Hmm.
after rejecting some, 40, 50 odd people, uh, the HR and my, reporting manager, they, tried to help me understand, and we had a casual conversation, and what I realized was I was not at all worried about what the JD was. I was not at
Hmm.
all no thinking about what that new candidate when onboarded will be doing. The only thing I used to ask the candidates was what I knew best,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And if the candidate is not able to answer, and most of the times it will be the case, because see, it is all about experiences, right? What kind of experiences, what kind of products, domain knowledge you have and all. If you don't have those kind of experience, it is very difficult that no you will be able to answer such kind of questions. So you can say that for a good amount of time I was blacklisted from taking any further interviews.
My God. Hmm.
Yeah. And then no, so it is more about self awareness. Now that is applicable as an employer also, that is applicable if you are applying for an interview also, right? As rightly mentioned, see, we are not, no, blindly we are not supposed to keep on applying, and then no you crib that, oh, you know what, I have applied for 100 odd jobs but not even
There is no
a
strategy
single.
at all. The moment we see 10 job, click, 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 apply. So that's the main.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So you can say that I also had made the same blunder more than 5 to 7 years back, wherein and sometimes you take even a good amount of pride and in saying to people that no 200 plus applications, not even a single interview got scheduled, and then yeah, definitely, let's say if you attend 4 5 interviews, and if you can crack one, that helps. But
Yes.
just blindly applying for no 100 plus 200 plus companies, it's not going to help. And no, as uh, Deepak and even right, Ajay brought it up that networking is something which is working wonders post COVID. No, let's say that the shortest distance between two people is a story. So if you
Hmm.
meet people and if you share your learnings, if you share your stories, there is another saying that the world is not made up of atoms, but the world is made up of stories. See, we all are so captivated by what all stories no Deepak has shared. So that absolutely leaves a mark. And I hardly used to meet people. You can say that until 1.5 2 years back, absolutely a private person. No, you have a group in your office, and then you have your family, and you don't meet anybody. But in the last 1.5 years, now it just helps you to know more. So it is all about observing a lot of people. That will help you to become a lot of self-aware. And if you are part of such focused group like no Deepak mentioned, some people are good at building things, right? Developers. Some people are good at breaking things, the test engineers. If you are part of such community, some people good at AI, some people good at administration. If you are part of those communities, no, as Deepak rightly mentioned, opportunities will come your way. So in the current,
Cross-functional knowledge sharing is something was not happening when we are in a job, correct? So we
correct,
work in
correct.
office, go to home, go to theaters, come back again to same office. No knowledge sharing, no cross-functional knowledge we will have. So, but the moment we start interacting with people, some new dimension, new things which we haven't even had a thought about it.
Thought about it.
I think Deepak has some point towards it. Can you share the Deepak?
Yeah. So basically, one thing about networking and referral is, so what happens is, say suppose I want to work with someone. Okay, I want to have onboard somebody. So what will happen is I will choose that person who I will have less friction with, or the least resistant with, or somebody who is fun to work with. So one of the things which happens in the community, close community, where I have seen that, many a times when I landed job, it was because the previous colleague who knew that I am, fun and frolic person and very good to gel with. So what he will do is, he will not put a job post or job board before he will check with me, or these people, that, yeah, you are also of the same skill, and are you right now looking out. So when you are working in any particular company, create good memories, be a fun person to work with, don't be an asshole. Because brilliant, see, simple is, there is one word, sentence, that Vidya Dadati Vinyam. So it doesn't matter how brilliant you are, if you are not humble, if you are not fun to work with, then doesn't matter. That particular
Exactly.
brilliance is of no use. So be a good employee, create genuine connections with everyone, and then people will remember you when there is some opportunities. So always have that thing in mind. Yeah.
True, true, true. Wonderful. Mr. Ajay, you have a point here. Like you've been into HR in the past. So, what? I mean, you could have seen a lot of mistakes. But what blunders you have did in your past? Ajay, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you
Yeah.
here. So, blunder, I can say like most of the blunder which generic everyone has done, that has been well articulated with Deepak as well as Jackson. The same, even in my early days, I have done it. I can say usually like the dumping of the profiles, spraying the profiles where many ATS only will do their work and RCB is not reaching to the hiring manager or recruiter at all. Second important point was their networking. Also, I can say when I started now Plum Trip, then I understood more in terms of networking, because earlier, whenever I need work or something, then only I'm able to connect with the persons.
Mm,
Otherwise, like we, our human tendency is there, we will forget.
correct.
But now now not only now I can say previous also I understood itself. This is the biggest thing which we need to do it. We need to be well connected as well as on the like connected communities also, so that only our like recruiter work also is going to be easy now.
So networking has to be a habit, continuously a recurring model where we need to meet new people on a at least weekly basis, monthly basis.
Correct. And third important point which I want to add from myself, to understand more on the job ghosting, because
Hmm.
nowadays what I have seen the trend, lot of companies for branding itself, they will do like they will post the job, like recent data also is saying like approx 30 I've not remembered the exact data, but 30 or 35% which I have read from one article, that from LinkedIn as well as from Naukri and all those, we are finding the job ghosting. So we need to be well understand whether the job is really exist or not exist.
Or they are just collecting database. Hmm.
Definitely, I can say they are collecting database, or just that is for the reference thing, like for
Hmm.
themselves. So that identification is nowadays more important before coming to the conclusion that I have applied 10 jobs but still I have not received any response. So those data tracking is the more important for us, which blunder in early stage of the career even I have done it, and I'm assuming most of the persons has done it.
Right, right,
This
right.
is the important point which I want to add it.
I think networking is the key. Like whether you are in a no risk zone, still you have to be connecting with new people on a monthly basis so that you network with cross functional knowledge sharing. You understand what is happening in the industry. Otherwise, you depend upon only YouTube, ChatGPT, and Google to understand the market, which may not be the reality. Right? Okay.
Absolutely, networking is a new relation in this digital era, I can say.
Correct, correct, correct. So yeah, moving on to Devasmita, like what was your previous role before you start this kind of a business, and what kind of a job hunting you were doing, like what kind of blunders you did? Can you share something?
Yeah, I have a lot of blunders because before I start my HR journey, because I am into HR for last 13 years, and previously when I started, so it was like a lot of blunders I did. Okay, when I shifted, because I'm from Kolkata, I shifted to Mumbai, and the work culture of different places were different, states were different. Okay, I was not able to understand Marathi that time because when the blunder which I did, I went with the words with the other, no, yeah. So what exactly I did that when the people calling for my name for the interview, okay, somebody has come out from the after giving the interview, and they told, see, whatever the salary they are offering is very less. You won't be matching with this. And I was like, okay. Then when the person is telling, then I have also come out from that interview zone. Okay,
So
and
not even attending that interview, just
no,
rejecting and okay.
just come out. Because my dad was outside, he was waiting for me, and my dad asked, "What happened? You didn't give the interview?" I told him, "No, no, no, I didn't give the interview because somebody else told me that they are not offering what exactly we are looking forward for." So he told me, "You go face that. If you are accepted, talk to that person." Then I was saying, once they said no, that's the biggest blunder because I didn't listen to my dad that time. Second blunder which I did was, again I went to the interview. There's in Maharashtra in Mumbai, I have given that time there's 42 interviews.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
where not I have been because I'm from Central and I've been everywhere because whole Mumbai I have been there for the interview, 42 companies, and in 42 companies, different experiences I have gathered, and they have rejected me for the several things. Then I ultimately think why they are rejecting me. Is there anything which is they want which is I'm not able to give it them? Means what is their want? Then I realized that they want, though I have completed my MBA in HR and operations, they want in the state the general certificate, okay, which I was not having. One of the HR manager told me, "You do this," and the blunder was that time that though I heard from this, but I took at least 6 months to realize this, and that is my delay. Okay, the 6 months got delayed to complete my the generalist one, and then coming back to the industry in HR. So that is, and I know that after that I got an opportunity with reputed Iran and many companies. So I'm blessed to be with them and learned a lot from them. And now I'm doing the business in HR because of their grace, because I learned a lot, and that is the biggest blunder. The blunders are like the mistakes from there we learn. Okay, that is what I always support Jai Krishnan for this. That is learn to unlearn. That is the learn I have unlearned from this, and what is the positive intent from there I have already taken that. And when I was listening to Ajay and Deepak, the same thing was coming: networking. And networking is the something which is now the craze, which I am also learning. Yes, I'm not good in networking, but yes, I'm working on myself because I don't want to do any more blunders and I don't want to listen to others. Because now my learning is hear your guts. What your intuition will tell you, do that. Just face the reality. Don't get scared.
No, I think that is a reality. Like how you are experiencing the same thing, many of us are doing. Like the moment we see the JD and we feel like okay, this is not for me. Not even attempting to give an interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is happening with most of the cases till now.
Yeah.
Because the JD might be asking 10 different things, but I may not have all the 10. I
Right.
might have 8 skills, but
Yeah.
nothing wrong in attending interview.
Yes.
That itself is not happening. I think that's a great point of view where we need to attempt interview and then decide whether to go or not. Nobody can force us no, to join a job. At least you will gain an experience. Oh, okay, this company is looking for this kind of skill where I don't have,
Yes.
then we start reskilling. I think that's what has happened to you because by attending a lot of interviews only you
Yeah.
came to know that some or the other certification is not matching or
Yeah.
experience skill is not matching, then you learned and moved on to the next level.
Correct.
So attempting interview is a, I think, a great mindset shift has to happen
Yeah.
rather than assuming about the job and skill only by reviewing the JD. I think that's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on to the final concluding remarks, the core panel discussion is lies on the tactics and methodologies used by job hunters. So with your past experience, can you suggest like list of things? These are the new things which you can adopt in your job hunt so that you can be successful in the next 5 years, because next 5 years is going to be massive change in terms of automation and multiple things in irrespective of any industry, not only IT BPO, irrespective of any industry. A lot of people are implementing N10 automation and AI developed things, and one guy has to wear multiple roles. So these are all things are happening. So in this kind of a situation, what is your best advices? Maybe you can just list it out number one, number two, number three. Maybe starting from Deepak again. Your
Uh,
concluding remarks.
Yeah. So my concluding remark or advice to anybody watching this as a job seeker is uh, your target should be next, not even 5 years, next 2 to 3 years you should become a solopreneur. Okay. So learn, invest in yourself, find your strength, do discovery calls with people, mentors and all to understand what are your hidden skills or what are your these things, and find the intersection of three things: your interest, your skill, and where the money is, and then work on those profoundly, so that in next 2 years you can build your own thing. You can at least move from this particular quadrant of employee to self-employed or freelancing, and then later on you can move to the bigger ones like being in business or entrepreneurship, because going forward jobs are not going to be stable. This is a fact, we have to accept it. Um, the companies, even the giants, are getting shaked. So when they themselves are losing positions, then what about you? You are just a tiny piece on the chess. So you have to safeguard your own. That means upskill all the way, find your strengths, upskill as per the interest plus skill plus money intersection point, and then continue your journey. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Moving on to Jay Kishan, your concluding remarks or advices, new methodologies to the job hunters.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, loud and clear.
So just to no add on top of what Deepak mentioned, we need to now everybody now I'm somebody, as I said, no, I was more of a private person, so I am not still utilizing LinkedIn to the fullest, but we need to leverage all the social media platforms in such a way that it can help us to grow in terms of our learnings also, but in terms of right the kind of compensation what we can make also. So what Deepak just mentioned, if I can no, phrase it in the language of ikigai, right, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life, it has four key components: what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So if we can no have a structure of how we really want to work based on these four things: what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, I think we will absolutely be having a successful as well as a happy and meaningful life as well. So purpose is something, right? People are saying that in once AI takes over in a massive way, people will not have any purpose in their life. But the fact that we are human beings, we will always find purpose in what we do, and we need to be a giver. So right, one of the engineer whom I had hired as a fresher, every Sunday morning he just no for 2 hours he does testing of any popular app or a website, and he posts those defects in LinkedIn, and he is getting good amount of traction. And one of the even no the company whose app he was testing, they offered him a job as well. So we need to showcase our talent, right? We need to use all the social media platforms to our advantage, instead of scrolling it endlessly.
True, true, true. I think that's a great point. The example which you shared by that guy is a great way of doing things. I think that we'll have to implement in our own model itself. Thanks so much, J. Kishan. So, Ajay, your concluding remarks, being an ex-HR, what is your um, biggest key takeaway, and what is your advice to the job hunters?
Sure. So I want to add like few more pointers here. So first point always like from starting which we were discussing, and I can say again I'm going to emphasize on that. That is the strategic networking. Like again I'm stressing on that. Most of the based on the data, like 54% of worker land job through connections itself. Now when we are going to talk about the connections nowadays, which I said like in AI world, like basically which we are seeing, like people use directly in LinkedIn and they will ask for the job rather than
Correct.
which I'm like feeling, rather than they need to ask about the information about the company, how exactly they are feeling at that particular company. And or in other words which I can say nowadays, like they can directly ask them like, can I buy a cup of coffee for you, or can we connect for a 15 minutes conversation? So that is going
Hmm.
to help them for initial conversation or initial connect. And after
Hmm.
that slowly on, like I can say the referral thing they can get. Second important point which like Jason has also mentioned, like so don't just tell,
Hmm.
like whichever work we are doing it we need to showcase them, we should not say them. And the showcase thing is the best thing, like I can say if I'm going to talk about the designer perspective, like designer most of the platform we have like Behance or any where they are posting their portfolio. Similar way other job persons also can do it. Like
Hmm.
let's suppose that if they have done something, like if operations guys if I can say, they can create a process optimization framework whichever they have done it or that, and they can showcase on their social media platform or somewhere, which can be definitely like if it is not confidential for the company, it can be useful for the other persons to know, okay this is good in this particular things, because people will get to know about their framework and all those how exactly he has solved the problem.
It can be
Third,
like a portfolio for a UI UX designer or a website creator. It can also add like a portfolio. Very well done. Yeah, yeah.
third important point I can say which nowadays people like need to do, I can say definitely they need to do, that is like based on the job description you need to tailor your CV. But only the thing which they need to keep in their mind ki when we are going to tailor the CV, we can use the phrase whichever in job description, because nowadays most of the ATS is doing filtering. If we are not going to utilize the same phrase, what happens, my CV is not going to reach to the human recruiter itself. It will be on the like company's database itself. So definitely they need to like tailor the CV, but always keep in the mind, we are tailoring the CV, we should not tailor myself. Like the skills whichever I don't know, that also if I'm going to add, that is not going to work out. Third, like in this one more thing which like Jason has also mentioned, like we need to always look out why this company, that is the first question which we need to ask from ourselves, why about this role itself, and why that person is going to hire us. So there is a more important questions which they need to look out. One more point which I want to add, like the people has to use AI smartly, not like completely lazily, I can say, where like just tailor my CV based on this JD, should not do it. Rather than they should analyze and they should ask like, if I'm going to give an example, like they can ask like analyze this job description and identify few important
Hmm.
themes, and based on that whichever they are like 2 or 3 response they are getting it, they can do research and they can use AI. And last point which I want to add, like the longer game with metrics. Now only applying job is not going to help. We need to metric
Exactly.
also. I can say like data side. Basically, we need to work on the data side. We need to look out rather than dumping 50 applications in a week. Rather than we need to focus only on the 5 to 10 quality applications per week. We need to do some 2 to 3 networking conversations per week, or along that we need to do some skill building activities, at least one in a week. So that is going to help them to grow in interviews, as well as to make networking, as well as like to apply on the relevant job. And apart from that, they need to track also like what is the like application response rate, whichever I have given the
Mm.
applications I applied, whether the
That
application
is the one missing element with everybody. They don't track.
correct. Second important, networking message response rate. Then again I can say interview to offer conversion rate. So all these points are there. If they are going to track based on the data, that is going to make them on the real picture, I can say. Whether simply saying here I have applied for 100 jobs but I'm not getting any call, rather than they should think, okay, my job skills is this, based on this relevancy I have applied for 20 companies, how many
Mm.
interviews I have received it. So those data
Mm.
tracking is more important. In HR I can
Wonderful.
say like from past COVID, whichever usually we are using the words also data driven HR.
Mm.
That is the most important thing nowadays. For I can say freshers or mid career or CXO, everyone has to work on that. So this I can
Superb.
say will
Superb.
be my advice for job hunters.
I mean, very, very valid point you have given, and it's a great advice to be in line with this kind of implementation. Without tracking, we are not going anywhere, and still we'll be repeating on the same process. I think the new way of job hunting is to track is the major golden statement which we every job hunters has to adopt. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Debasmita, your final thoughts, final concluding remarks for the job hunters on new methodologies of doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. Yeah, so something which comes that is what I have taken from here is the networking, which was continuously been portrayed, right? So
Mm.
networking should be done, and I learned something from Mr. Ajay here, that is say yes or no. These two things, right? We say yes to every opportunities, but every
Mm.
opportunities are not meant for us. So first we understand what is meant for us actually, if we are going to the core of it, because it is very mandatory to understand what is meant for me actually. Is this a right job for me? Is my intention is for longer time term, it's not for the shorter term. Going to the company, it is harassment, right? This is what I understood from them. Means working with the company for 3 months, 6 months is an harassment for the organization, because they are also hiring, they are also having a budget.
Correct.
So this is something which I have understood, taken this from this panel discussion, and something which I also felt, and in my journey also, when I was an employee that time, this also comes in my mind. That is a self doubt. Self realization
Correct.
was not happening. Okay, self evaluation I didn't do, because
Correct.
I think Mr. Ajay has spoke about introspection, right? We do introspection every morning. If you do gratitude journaling and introspection of your SWOT analysis, because understanding where you are standing today before going for an opportunity, if you do this, then definitely you can get to know more about you. Yes, I in a particular thing, because there are a lot of certifications out there. What is relevant for you?
Correct.
Understand this. Because people are going for this and that, because they are also seekers. Because they are,
Mm.
everybody has to understand what is relevant for me. As Mr. Jai Krishna has specifically mentioned about ikigai. Yes, love, passion, which is very important. What is your passion? What you are loving for? If you are for JavaScript, if you love Java, accept it. If you love Python, accept it. But don't go with that. Okay, Python is now crazy, and I did like in my MBA, because that in 2012 it was a craze. Okay, though I
Mm.
completed my post graduation in child psychology, and I heard that MBA was a craze, and I did my MBA, but I got an opportunity with that as well. But the realization comes with what I also speak to them, that is understand what is your worth. Self-worth is important. Once you are going for the interview, negotiate, learn the skill of negotiation, because it has been also put in the panel discussion. understand what is your worth. If you are going with the okay, okay, because I have not gotten an opportunity for last 1 year, and I'm just okay. I'm going. It's an okay type. It's your, then you are
It's
paid.
not fully convinced to getting into a job. It is like for survival, I'm just joining a job. Yeah.
Yes, don't have a survival mindset, because you are yourself is so much fortunate, and you are so much is abundance is within you. So feel that, and because you are not dying for one day if there is no job for you. Just evaluate yourself. Do the self evaluation is very mandatory before going for an interview. Just understand your self worth. This is what is coming to me right now, because this is what the mind shift we do for the before placing the candidate. Just understand, and grooming is important. People are going for the interview for the sake. Body language matters a lot, because if your body language shows very okay, I'm just coming for a interview, it is not like that. Once you are going, your mindset, your body language will speak, this job is for me. So this
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, yeah. So let's wrap up this key takeaways. I think very, very valuable points which we are able to think on our side also, what blenders we have done, what are the new techniques we can adopt, implement, and all that. So what I feel is the market is not dead; it is evolving. Number one. Number two, the recruiters are hiring for skills, speed, and story. The articulation, showcasing, all that. Number third, candidates must stop relying on the old techniques of applying and praying, like praying and spraying kind of methodology, rather than doing a lot of networking, meeting, maybe it online, maybe it offline, do a lot of networking. Fourth, LinkedIn and personal branding now drive about 80% of first impressions. So that means the algorithm has changed, and there are a lot of new way of doing things. By just Jay Kishan has shared one instant that how by posting on LinkedIn he got one job. So that's the way going forward. Where in LinkedIn the specialty is not only the recruiters, even board of directors and chairman are viewing your LinkedIn profile. So obviously you have to keep showing consistently on LinkedIn platform to grab those kind of hidden opportunities which you were never ever thought about. And final thing is continuous learning and visibility. So that is going to be your career insurance for next 5 to 10 years. Even if you want to become a solopreneur or entrepreneur, continuous learning, networking, visibility is a key element for the growth prospect of the job hunters. So this is GS Kumar with all the panel members. All the best for the all the job hunters implementing for the new technologies and process methodologies, everything shared by all the subject matter experts who joined today. So thank you so much for joining Jay Kishan, Ajay, Deepak, and Debasmita, sparing your Sunday, even in your holiday resting time. You have came forward and contributed to the whole job hunters who are frustrated. And if you need a one-to-one consultation, you can book a call. My link is there. You can scan and book a call for a career clarity. So thank you so much for joining today, and see you soon in the next week, where we will be coming up with a very, very new topic related to job and careers. Thank you, and all the best.